from now, Gavin Newsome and Ron DeSantis defend their record in the great state debate on Sean Hannity's show. So let's break down the key issues for their residents. In California, unemployment, look at this, declined by over 85,000 since 2019, while increasing by more than 1 million in the Sunshine State. Well, despite the shrinking labor force, California's 4.8 recent jobless rate is the second highest in our country. That's nearly twice as high as Florida's at 2.8%. Now, the homeless crisis stands out because California is housing over 172,000. Where's this number? Right here. This is the homeless population, 172,521. Compare that to Florida. Look at this, 25,000, a little more than almost 26,000 of homeless population. And then over 1 million people left California between July of 2019 and 2022, while more than 700,000 people flocked to Florida. And finally, when it comes to education, just 30% of California fourth graders rated proficient in math, despite spending about 45% more in K through 12 education. Well, our next guest, they left California. They moved to Florida during the pandemic. So joining us now, we have Craig Blessing and we have Terry Gillum, who is also the founder of Leaving California and Life After California Facebook groups. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning. Okay, Craig, tell me your story. Why did you decide to leave California?
Well, it was a culmination of a lot of things. Mainly it was the pandemic, the lockdowns. We had a little 2-year-old. He was in daycare, and just watching him force the mask on him every day.
Yes.
That was heartbreaking and really tough, and just seeing his face every day leaving, going to work. And then, it's kind of just other things, seeing the taxes not going to useful policies. And then also, my wife, she was forced to get the vaccine mandate, which she had complications from right out the gate. And then ultimately, she set a timeline, the hospital did, for getting the booster shot, which is April 28th. And then, so that's kind of when we set our timeline that we have to get out of Florida. Yeah. So amongst other things, those are kind of like the key items.
Terry, how about you? You moved to Winter Park, which is right outside of Orlando. Beautiful area.
Yeah, I was actually born and raised in Central Florida, Ainsley, and I moved to California in 1986. It was not as liberal as it is now. And as time went on, we kept getting more and more liberal laws passed. We got a supermajority in the legislature that just kept passing more laws, more regulations. The cost of living went through the roof. In fact, when I moved to California from Texas in 1986, gas cost less in California. Today, it's probably 75% higher. And I saw this coming years ago, and I said, you know what? I'm going back to Florida. Florida's a free state. We have a governor and legislature that actually looks after the constituents versus California, which I think the California legislature, they think that the citizens serve them and to their needs. So that's why I moved back. It's just a much freer place to live, much less cost of living, and I'm much happier here.
Well, Craig, tell me how your life is different in Florida compared to California.
It's a big difference. So in California, there's really not a sense of community. And then also too, like looking around, there's not many kids playing in the streets. You don't see the camaraderie that you see here in Florida. It can even look like last night. We just bought a house, so we made Florida a permanent home just recently. When I was putting up the Christmas lights last night, our kids were out in the cul-de-sac playing with like 9 other neighborhood kids. We weren't worried, weren't looking around. It's just not stressful. We have a great community. Our church is very welcoming. It's just, and also too, just the sense of, I have a newfound respect for our country and, just more patriotic than I have been in the past 10 years.
That's awesome. That's so, what an American story, because we didn't grow up with a lot. We had just enough, but I had that idyllic childhood too. And I was so happy. Some of the greatest years of our lives. It doesn't take a lot of money. It just is happiness playing with all the friends in your neighborhood. Terry, how about you?
Exactly.
What's the difference for you?
Cost of living is a big deal. And again, as I said, the politics are not the same here in Florida as they are in California. In our groups, we still have a lot of people who are worried about their kids and what they're learning in school. in California as far as transgenderism, teaching them that they may be a different sex at 8, 9, 10 years old. I have a friend in Southern California. He's got a daughter in junior high school, and he said about 1 out of 5 of their kids are transgendering right now. Well, we don't want to teach that to young people, and so it's just different here. It's just very different here.
Yeah. Real quickly, what do you want to see from Sean tonight? What questions should he ask both of these governors, Craig?
I really like to see, one of the things a lot of people don't talk about with Florida is the school choice, which, Terry, I talked to him a lot about it, members of our group on Leaving California and Life After California. I really like to hammer home the school choice and what California is doing to, I guess, recover from the pandemic. But even so, it wasn't doing good prior to it. But I'd like to see, question more about the school choice and what we're doing for
Terry,
kids.
we're almost out of time, but can you just quickly tell me what you want to hear tonight?
Yeah. Do we want to go in the direction of San Francisco, or do we want to go in the direction of Miami?
Oh, that's it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for watching Fox, being on with us, and thanks for watching the debate tonight. It'll be good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Fox News Alert.